Well, anyone that has to go, the replay will be posted into the Really Visible Challenge for you all. So if you're here, just do me a favor and mute yourself onto the computer now. And we're going to go on an experience. So if you have to hop off, just make sure that you pencil it in, because today I really want to take you on a journey through what embodiment means to me when we're building a brand and really standing for like the unapologetic, fullest expression of you. And then that means you need to know what every single letter of embody stands for. So if you leave halfway through, come back and just pencil this in. If you're here watching live, or if you have your notepad, I just want you to write down, what does embodiment mean to you? And see if that changes and evolves as we begin. I want this to be a journey. So if you are live and you would rather just take your notes into the chat, your takeaways, your ahas, like blow it up, put it there. We'll screenshot it and share it for you. Before we get started, invitation, grab your phone, open up your Instagram app, and we're going to take a boomerang. And then you can share it on socials and tag a friend who needs to see this training. Do you got your phones? Are you guys ready? Instagram app out? Come on. We'll do it together. So you just go into story, go into boomerang, turn it towards our camera, blow it up on your screen so no one sees how many pictures and photos and things you're working on in the back. Make sure you're under gallery view. And are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you can just save that and then turn your phone on airplane mode and throw it far away from you so that you can fully come and be here. We are really good multitaskers, but to like turn something from just knowledge, like just words, information, into knowledge, it has to become an experience for you. So let this be your experience to really drop in. And notice throughout our time together, if you get into your head rather than staying grounded in your body. But first, in order to do that, I want you to close your eyes down. Unless you're driving, please don't close your eyes if you're driving. And we'll take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Notice what happens as you take your next breath in. And exhale, witness the experience of the body as you exhale. 1 more. And after you release your next exhalation, notice if you feel any sensations within the body, where those sensations are, color, texture, location. And then tapping your heart. And as you tap your heart, ask yourself, what is my motive? What is my motivation? And let that bring you life. Like, why the heck, of all the places that you could be anywhere else in the world, you're sitting here in front of this training? Why? And let it activate your heart space. Maybe it brings you a smile, flashes a memory, a vision in your mind. And I want you to see your biggest vision coming true. What's your biggest vision? See it coming true as you activate the heart chakra center. And your body literally doesn't know the difference whether it's happened or not. So see it and let the feelings arrive as if it was already here. Like, what the actual, it's here. Anchor it in, this feeling like it's here right now. And then you can release your hands to just feel the sensation at your heart. If you're like me, your cheeks might hurt from smiling. You might have a tear. And when you're ready, you can just open the eyes and see the light before you start to bring your gaze back to the screen. And do your best to stay into that heart space. Like, stay here and be all here. Before you leave the room, if you are here live, drop your Instagram URL into the chat and then run and follow each other. How is alignment and embodiment with all of you? Do you feel safe, confident, you know how, excited that you are, sharing all parts and pieces of yourself? In your business and in your brand? Is that something that you're doing? Is that like a full body yes? Like, I have all of me online. And how much do you feel that you bring you, your energy, your essence, your motive, your mission into your brand? And where do you feel like this opening, it's 111. Where do you feel this opening that you get to create content, create an offer, go out and sell something? Like, is there excitement? Do you get turned on? Do you feel resistance? Like, what is your relationship to and with content creation, building out offers, selling them? And is there anywhere that you hold yourself back, like jumping from idea to idea, identity to identity? Or do you feel free, like an artist with a paintbrush, to just pick it up and begin? When we're looking at embody, I want you to think about E for experience. Life is the art of drawing without an eraser. Your business is art without having an eraser. So, what is the transformation that you want your clients to experience when they work with you? What is the experience that you want them to have? What is the experience that they desire to have? And what are the emotions that they want to feel? Because when someone buys into your experience, into your brand, your offers, your retreats, your coaching, your whatever it is that you're selling, they're not buying the thing. They're buying the emotion that they believe the thing is going to bring them. So when you think about creating an offer, are you thinking about the emotion that this offer is going to bring them? Because all that we desire is just seeking an emotion that we believe X, Y, or Z will bring us. What is it that we want to experience, and what is it that we want our clients to experience? And when you think about the emotion, like, how does that emotion make you feel? And what is the contrast to that? What is the duality of that emotion? What is the opposite opposing emotion that's tied to that? There's one thing that you can do is like, what do you want your clients to feel while working with you? And what is the experience of the space that you want to hold and guide your clients through? I know for me, like this morning, I was driving with my son home from the beach and he's like eating a pipa. He's naked. He's like playing around. I'm like, he is the definition of free. Like he's so happy. He just wants to eat his pipa, be naked, and play. I'm like, freedom is such a huge piece that I want to feel, that I want my children to feel, and that I want each one of you to feel free to be yourself, free to go where you want to go, free to be with who you want to be with, and free to invest in the different things that you desire to invest in, and free to do whatever you desire to do in your business. But also, like, clarity is a huge one for me. Clarity around what you offer and how you talk about what you offer. Like, you're crystal clear, like a crystal clear ball. You know who you are, what you do, and why you're here, with confidence in what you do and who you are. And you can say it if anyone asks you, like, there's no resistance of sharing exactly what you do in all the parts and pieces of what you do with conviction. How many of you, scale 1 to 10, have conviction in what it is that you do and who it is that you serve and how it is that you take them from point A to point B? And I want you to feel like, I was talking to a friend yesterday, not just good, not just happy. I want you to feel joyous, energetically, emotionally alive, so connected to your truth in the life that you live, so that your life and your business can co-collide with beautiful boundaries, where it's like everything that you do in your life is some way bringing content, which will bring, like, how do I create a life that is just so rich in content I never have to think, oh, what am I going to post today? Because your life is so on brand for your business. And then the last one that I came up with is safety. Safety in the body, safety in the bank account, safety in relationships, safety in sharing. How many of you have clients that are like, I've never told anyone this, but I want to tell you? I've never been able to go this deep with anyone, but I want to do it with you. That feels really good when you've created a safe container, but that first safe container has to happen within your own body, in your own self. And so, really thinking about what is the overall experience of my brand. When someone finds my podcast, my Instagram reel, my Instagram story, or comes into a container, a retreat, what do they experience? When they walk into your room or your business, what else comes with that? And that's something I want you to contemplate for you. Experience. You could think about this as like, what's the desired outcome? What's the tangible thing that you're selling? But rather, I want you to think about, at the end of this container, how do they feel? So that you can weave more of the emotion into your marketing and your messaging. And also so that you can be the example of that. Is this resonating? Landing? How many of you, put it into the chat if you're here watching live, how many of you know exactly, like when I'm asking these questions, the responses are just coming up, scale of 1 to 10. And then who's like, oh, I've never thought about it that way. I've never thought about the experience and the emotions. I'm always looking at, like, what's the outcome? They're just flowing in. 7. Flowing in. 9. I have not thought that way through of it. I have not thought of it that way. I feel like I think about the experience and the emotions way too much like a 12. And that can be a good thing as long as you bring strategy behind it. Because sometimes when we think too, in the Virgo in my chart, I feel you. When we do it too much into the intuition and too much into the emotion, there are many different types of buyers. Some buyers buy because of logic. Some buyers buy because of emotion. Some buyers buy last minute or because of FOMO. And so we want to be able to be sure that we're thinking of all the different types of buyers, or if we stick to one way of selling our overall brand and messaging, then we're going to miss the people in our audience that need a different angle, that need a different perspective. So this is a huge piece of the experience. And then as we go through this training, you'll get some other ways in which you can begin to sell your brand. Mission, movement, motive. So this is M for embody. Your mission can grow and evolve, but your core message stays the same. The way in which you teach, guide, coach, facilitate, grow, and expand. But your motive is the core of who you are and what you stand for. And I'll give you an example through my own life. There's some of you that have been with me since I started posting online in 2008. And my mantra in my business then was live, laugh, love. And then it evolved into live your yoga. And then it evolved into wounds, wisdom, and wealth, taking the wounds of the past, turning it into wisdom through the body, and building wealth from your body's lessons. And then I started being like, oh, I'm the barefoot and rich, holding the duality. I'm always barefoot. Yesterday, I walked in to get my hair done, and she's like, where's your shoes? And I was like, I don't wear shoes. She's like, oh, okay. And then I said salty hair millionaire because normally my hair is literally so salty from the ocean and so blonde from the sun, but also holding those dualities. But at the core of who I am, my mission was to save people through yoga because yoga saved my life. Impact. I wanted to help people find happiness. And then impact, when I started to realize that you could make a lot of money teaching people from your own wisdom, I was like, I need to help people gain freedom. So they're not like me teaching 16 yoga classes a week, doing 8 massages a day, barely getting by, sleeping on airport floors and in hostels. My desire for impact was like, oh, I need to help people turn their gifts into assets. And then I was like, oh yeah. And then after all of this, instead of us being in a constant creation hamster wheel, how do we turn the money that we make into more money? And I made a post on Facebook just a couple days ago, like, I've been running Facebook ads on and off for 4 years. And always around the holidays, always around election, always around like Christmas and Black Friday, ads go down, baby. Like, you go from making 10 sales a day to a couple sales a day unless you really increase your ad spend. Because people for the holidays crank up how much they're spending so you get drowned out in the noise. And I was like, but I have cryptocurrency, I have stock, and I have real estate. So I really want to educate my clients on like, once your business starts making money, how do you make sure that the money you're making goes into places that make you money so you can have real freedom? But at the core of all of this, like, is live, laugh, love. I want you to live, I want you to laugh, and I want you to love your life. But the core message stays the same. And so what I stand for and who I've grown into has evolved, but like the motive has stayed a core pillar. The motive is impact. And then impact has grown legs as I've defined how can I have more impact. And so thinking, what is your motive and what is your mission? Who do you want to serve? Who are your dream clients? Because that builds out your movement. And the movement gets to be soul family, sisterhood, connection, relationships. It's why I love doing these calls and being here with you all live because I get to see your faces. It's why retreats and live events has been a core part of my business for 9 years, just about. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing retreats, hosting workshops, building a coaching business, the motive of who you are and what you stand for, it stays the same. And that's what allows you to be multi-passionate, which we're going to get into how do I tie all of these multi-passionate pieces in together. But for you, have you really dove deep into like what is your motivation? What is your why? And what are your clients' whys? And is your clients' whys the same as yours? Because typically they are. And then from experience to mission to movement to motivation, we come into the body-led business strategy. Letting your body guide and teach you. So many of you have heard the story. I started my business like just wanting to grow my retreats, finding my way onto a sales funnel, and I had no idea, very naive, a sales funnel. On a sales call, no idea what a sales call was, had no idea he was going to promise me my life, and if I didn't decide in that moment, all of these amazing bonuses would disappear. And then I took on this strategy, and it would literally make me sick. But the impact kept me doing it until it was like, no, I can't do this anymore. So thinking about what gives you life. Do you have a life-giving strategy that you can continue to do for a lifetime, no matter how long it takes? Yes or no? You can drop it in the chat. You can shake your head. Do you know what gives you life and what makes you feel alive? Do you know what takes away from your energy field and what makes you feel like, eh? How many of you love making content? How many of you love selling? How many of you love creating your offers? While I was getting my hair colored yesterday, she's she's an artist. She does like interior design for $1 million homes. She's built a really successful hair cutting business, hair dyeing business in the States, here in Costa Rica, but her business is tied to her time. So if she takes a week off, she doesn't get paid, and she's behind because her clients are waiting for her to come home to do their hair. And now she has to catch up for late, like going away. And she's like, I need a passive source of income. She's like, but I feel like so much of my time goes into marketing and not into doing what I love to do. Do you feel that way? Because it's really important that we find out how to make what we love doing part of the marketing and the messaging. And that's just like sharing your life and your values. And so the key is to any strategy, client, thing you have to do is like, there will be things in your business that you do not like doing. And you can always hire out. Yesterday, I was working with my one-on-one client, and she's like, I'm done doing tech, and I'm done trying to weave the reels together so it's like flashing from one thing to the next to the next. She's like, I spend way too much time creating reels. I spend way too much time setting up email softwares and automations. I said, how much do you get paid for an hour of one-on-one coaching? She's like, $400. And I was like, do you realize that you could have 5 reels made for $100? Why aren't you hiring that out? Do you realize that you could have an entire email automation system for $100 set up? Why don't you hire that out? How much more time would you have helping your clients, and how much more energy would you have to sell more clients in if you got those 2 hours of your time back every single week that would only cost you 1/4 of an hour of your time from a client? So we got her 2 new employees, and she's thrilled. But I think that in the beginning, it's like the only way that we can really scale our business. Put it into the chat if you are here live, like, what are the 2 ways that you can make more money and help more clients? How can you scale your business if your business is I'm here to grow and serve. I'm here to help people. I'm in a relationship business, not a product line. Like we can sell products, and that's a great way to scale our business without our time. But if you are in a business, how do you scale? Yeah, use a VA, outsource the stuff you don't like to do. Yep. And there will be seasons where you do it all. And there will be a season where you're like, I'm done doing it all. That'll really help scale because you'll get your energy back. And if you're like me, you can ask my husband. I love control. I'm afraid of letting people do. So I know the parts of my business, like I'm not going to have a guest coach delivering this. There's certain things in my business that are going to be me. I'm not going to host retreats where I'm not there. I have mentors where they host retreats of their communities and they're not actually there. It's just their communities. That isn't my style right now. I want to be in my business with my clients. I want to get to know them. I want to meet them. So, two ways to scale is one, focus on more clients, which is harder to get a new client than it is to continue growing with an old client because it's the know, like, trust factor. They have to be built into your brand and your experiences and the value that they receive. So, selling a brand new client is always so much more work than continuing to grow and evolve with new ones. But here's the thing. What's so fun about number two is focus on the client journey and depth of relationship where you get paid to grow and evolve. Multi-passionates, if you have more offers, you can continue to sell clients into different experiences. But if you just have one offer, then A, you're like me and you get bored because you're like, I can't teach that program another time. I have way too many ideas. Like, I'm creating a program right now, and as I'm creating that program, I'm trying to create 3 other programs. And I'm like, okay, one landing page at a time, Amber, one email sequence at a time. But for me, that's how I am. And that's how most of my clients are. And so it's like focusing on long-term relationships pays you to grow and evolve. And this is how we get to start to weave in the different spaces and places that we've been in different places and spaces that our past version selves has been in. And so 3 things that you always have to do in order to grow and scale your business: growing your audience, serving your clients and your community, and selling offers. How many of you have a tried and true audience growth method? Tried and true, serving your community, selling your offers, a system in place for each one of these things. And there's many different ways, but which ones excite you? I know some of my clients, they're like, I don't do online, Amber. So they go to live events and they go to retreats and they do in-person marketing and networking. Denver's a huge hub for this. Huge. Some people are like me and you live in the jungle and you have to do both. Some people love creating content on Instagram and some people love YouTube. Some people love Instagram. So it's like, which one of these are sustainable long-term for you? Because if you're like me and you're like, okay, I'm ready to grow and scale and I want to serve more clients and I want to have more money and I want to do all these things, so you just chase the strategy. Oh, this strategy is one of my mentors calls it the red shiny dress. You see what someone else is doing from the outside. You think it's working. So you're like, I'm going to try that. Oh, I'm going to try that on. I'm going to try that on. But you don't ever give yourself enough momentum. 21 days or 30 days is not enough time. It's not enough time to have enough data in using Instagram Reels to grow your audience. It took me 15 months. Sure, for some people, it could be 3 months. For other people, it could be 7 months. For some people, they could blow up the first month. But long-term strategy, what can you continue to do in your garden that's going to get you to where you want to go, that gives you life, like to enjoy this process? Because it's like, I love creating content. I was really bad at it. Just scroll back onto my Instagram. Like, I was really bad at it. I've gotten better at it, which is where it became my art. So, what we don't want to do when we want to grow our audience, when we want to serve our audience and then sell them into experiences with us, is hop from strategy to strategy, hop from offer to offer, hop from mentor to mentor. We want to stick with what feels good in our body that we can do over a long period of time. And I like looking at your strategy in business the same way you would in a marriage, like long-term marriage. The call I was on with a friend yesterday, she's been married for 31 years. Her kids are 20 and 21, and they're dating again. The kids are out of the house. And I'm like, so what was it like when you had a 2.5-year-old? Please let me know. Because that dynamic is different than when me and my husband were just traveling around surfing. Now it's like I have a mom hat, I have a business hat, I have a wife hat. It's like I'm wearing so many different hats. But the key is to have a regulated nervous system. Because how does this feel in the body? And can I do this for a lifetime? Because long-term effects of a marriage is you learn how to ride the waves. Long-term effect of cryptocurrency, I've been down $60,000 this entire year, and now we're in a bullish market and I'm up 30K. But it's like I had to hold for an entire year watching my money go do 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 do. And most people are like, "Oh no, I got to get it out of here." They pull it out, and then now they're like, "Oh, I should have kept it in." That was me when I started cryptocurrency. That was me when I started my business. So we have to learn how to hold in those more challenging times. And when I asked this couple, "How have you been married 52 years?" They said, "We learned to stay when we were in the valley till we got back to the top of the mountain again." That will be the energy that we have and we hold in our business. So, what's the long term strategy? Maybe you guys sleep in separate beds for a few months. It's like, what can I do? How can I find the balance when it's not in the moment? And the way that I do this is through my embodiment practices. It's through the Kundalini that I've been sharing inside of the wave. It's through the soul flow embodiment dance practices that I've also been sharing inside of the Really Visible Challenge. It's these things that keep me finding calm in the midst of a storm. We can react or we can respond. And if I don't do these energetic embodiment practices, I react. And how do we feel when we react afterwards? Bad. So we want to stay in a really good energy. And so your personal practice to you, whatever that looks like, because golden nuggets always come. My content that does the best happens when I'm out surfing, when I'm digging in the sand, playing tractors with my son, after a soul flow embodiment practice, when I'm lying in Shavasana all sweaty. These are where the inspiration of the content comes from. Not when I'm like, okay, let me put on my business hat. What should I say today? It's like, no, letting this be a part of the integration as you're moving throughout your day so you don't disconnect the two. It's just like you're in a contemplation of your life and how you want your clients to feel because it's contemplation of how you want to feel. What's your favorite embodiment practice? What's your favorite, like bringing the energetic alignment of my body and my business integrated? You can drop it in the chat or write it in your notes. And then O for embodiment is your offers. And thinking about all the different offers that you have. How many offers do you have? Can you name it off the top of your head? How many different programs, courses, or masterclasses have you created? Because I know for me, I cannot tell you how many. There are so many. I have so many. But every single one of them is the pillar that holds up my mission, my motive, and my movement. And I can tell you what attention I've put into the intention of how this program supports my overall motivation. And it's not just what you want, but what do they want? And when you're thinking about what lights you up, What is it that they are seeking? Using yourself and your clients as a mirror. Because people will tell you, okay, focus on what's tangible, focus on them, do market research, create content based upon the market research, based upon what's out there. But then I have clients who do that and no one's signing up for their retreat and they're not even excited about the retreat. So they're not energetically behind it. I'm like, well, if you're not excited about it, how are you going to sell it? Well, so and so asked for it. And then afterwards, they said they couldn't come. And then I had already put the deposit down. So I had to keep selling it. Anytime you should or have around what you sell, there's an energetic disconnect. And many of you have heard this story, hear from more. For 6 weeks, only one person signed up, and we only had 3 months to launch the offer, 3 months until the event took place. But I had this vision during Soul Flow that came through so clear, I couldn't not bring it into the world. And so I was so behind it. Now we just have a couple spots left. But it was me having to hold the energy of what my body had told me, what my vision was. But if we do shoulds or have tos or what the market tells us, we don't have a motive, we don't have a mission, we don't have a movement that we're creating for the offer, so we can't energetically back it. And so, who here has ever created something they didn't want to or they thought they should and then didn't get the results that they desired? Like someone told you to, a coach helped you create it, someone asked you for it, and then afterwards you're like, what am I even doing? So, connecting to what is your story? What connects you, your story, to the offer, your energy to the offer? And then what is your why connected to the offer? Get your heart involved. Like, let it bring you joy thinking about the experience that you get to hold. And then your mission, your movement, your motive, like all of that ties in to your content strategy. Your content strategy gets to be no different than your offers. Why am I sharing the story? Why does this matter? And then attention and intention. How does this drive back to my overall mission, my overall motive? How does this program lean into impact? How does this program lean into freedom? How does this program lean into wealth? Then you can create anything from under those pillars. This is going to impact people because. This is going to help my clients create freedom in their life because. This is going to help them generate wealth because. And then you don't just post or create for no reason. It's like, what's exciting you and what's lighting you up, and why does that come back to like what you want to do for your clients? Is this something that you're already doing, something that you're already thinking about? You can drop it in the chat. So always tie it back. Be able to go and read any piece of content or listen to any podcast or look at any offer that you've ever created and be able to tie it back to your motive, your mission, and your movement. That's what allows you to spread your wings as a multi-passionate without losing any part or piece of you. It's like I can tie so many lessons from surfing to business growth. I can tie so many lessons of being a mother to business growth, being a wife, being a facilitator, a retreat leader. All of these labels and identities that I have and hold can all go and support my overall motive. And then I don't have to niche down. Who here feels like they've niched down enough or they need to niche down more? Throughout the journey of the Really Visible Challenge, we had the types of content. Type 1, connection, connecting to your community and being relatable. relating the offers to their values. Type 2 is calling her in. Who is your dream soulmate client? What is it time for them to do? What are they ready to do? And without all the things that they've been told. And then you can go even a layer deeper, and it's like, talk to the past versions of you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 months ago, 5 months ago, 10 days ago, 5 days ago. And you're going to call in different types of people based upon where you were 10 years ago and 10 days ago. Those are two different types of clients, but it still weaves into all the different things that you share in your business, because if you're devoted to growing and evolving, the different things that you add into your business and in your brand are going to grow, change, and evolve too. But when you use your marketing like, okay, today I'm going to write to the version of me 10 years ago. And then next week, you're going to say, okay, today I'm going to write to the person I was 10 days ago. That's going to call in two different types of women. And the best part is like, when you're thinking about your client avatar, you know what you wanted. You know what you were struggling with. You know what you wish you had. You know what someone wish would you have told you. And so it's just like you having a constant conversation with all versions of yourself. And then the way in which you create content and you market is just another pathway for you to grow and evolve. Because things that you didn't think about are going to pop up. Aha moments that you didn't even recognize you were having will happen as you're creating the content. And that's why I love doing it post a Kundalini activation or after a soul flow, because that's when you're connected to the highest version of you, the place that like lights you up and gives you so much joy in life. And then the content number 3 is storytelling and selling for your clients as the evidence of what's possible, you as the evidence of what's possible, and then to provoke curiosity, as well as to the emotions of what they desire. And as you're storytelling, you get to weave in moments through visualization, colors, and textures. Who here loves storytelling? Like, do you love storytelling? Because it's something that we've done for centuries, like sitting around the fire, family holidays and vacations. It's something that we used to do naturally, and something in our busy world today we don't do as much of, which is also an art and it's a practice. It's my favorite way to learn. I agree. It's like my favorite content is when people storytell. And that's why most of the time, if you're on my email list or you're following me in any capacity, it's always story, because that's what connects me to my motive and my mission more than anything else. And it's what we remember. Number 4 is positioning. So what are your shiny results? What have you achieved or accomplished because of XYZ, your methods? When you're positioning, what is it they desire, and how can you show you as the person that can help them get to where they desire to go, where it's like you are the vehicle from where they are to where they desire to go. And then you as the one on the journey to take them with you. And you're just like, hey, this is where I'm going. This is what I'm focusing on. Like, this is what I'm doing. Like, let's do this together. Let's go on a journey. And then you can bounce between selling the positioning of your shiny results or your clients, and then the also of like, hey, these are the things that I'm doing this year. This is where I'm going. Do you want to ride the wave with me into next year? This is what we're working on. This is what we're doing together. And then it's just an invitation. So we have experience, mission, motive, movement, body-led business, offers, declare and decide. If it doesn't matter if you are, like, it literally doesn't matter if you're just starting out, if you're evolving, How many of you have burned it all down? Burned it all down? Starting all over from the scratch? I really love to think about it as you're not always burning it all down. You're turning it into compost so that the soil is richer, the ground is more fertile, and you don't have to lose any part of yourself from the past, but it actually gets to transform into something new. Like, I'm going back to the drawing board. I don't know. How many mothers here, I'm curious, how many mothers here, when they have a baby, they get initiated on, like, who the heck am I? And why am I here? Like, everything I thought I was doing in my business, I don't know. Each baby has done that to me. And it happened to me just a week ago when I realized I was having the same thoughts that I had with Amani that I'm having now. And I was like, I texted my midwife and I was like, is this normal? Does this happen? And she's like, yeah, get ready because every baby is a new wave of abundance. Enjoy the ride, mama. I'm like, okay. And so I was like, okay, but that happens even if we're not pregnant because we get pregnant with ideas and we start to question. And so wherever you're at right now in the moment, you decide and you declare who I am, where I'm going, and what I'm setting out to do. Because before I ever like became a business coach, I was behind the scenes business coaching people that were in my DMs asking me to help. They're like, I really love your content. I love the business that you've created. And like, can you show me the way? And I was like, yeah. And then I got pregnant with Amani and I had a coaching call with my client, with my coach. And she's like, so do you think you want to do business coaching? And I was like, yeah, I think that's what's happening. And so I had to put multi-passionate business coach in my Instagram bio and change my bio. And it was really scary to do that. Like, it was scary and I had to go all in, but I didn't change my bio. I didn't know anyone else out there that had the bio multi-passionate business coach. I just stuck with it. And now I'm literally the go to business coach for multi passions because I declared and decided like I have all these parts and pieces of me and I don't want to niche down. But it's your conviction and who you are and what you're doing and the energy you hold. And what people are really buying into is your energy frequency and your conviction behind what it is that you're doing. And that's why you've probably seen people blow up and you're like, what strategy are they even using? Like that doesn't even make sense. But it's like their conviction of like the girl that walks down the road like she's got it. It's like because she really believes that she's got it and people can feel that energy and frequency. And something that I love that Seth Godin says, if you guys don't read any of his books, he's like a genius, is imposter syndrome is normal. Like, if you've never done it before, it would actually be really weird if you didn't feel that way. Like, it would be really weird if you didn't feel like an imposter doing something you've never done before. And so embracing the imposter syndrome when you decide to bring in a new modality or claim a new identity or offer a new service. And for me, like what's taken me so long to get to where I am for others that have surpassed me was just my doubt and lack of belief in myself. And so what I've been realizing in the last like year and a half, it's like the Jedi training, energetic skills, which I had Deb was here for a little while. She'll watch the replay, but she's like Jedi training on the mat. Or this one time I flew to India. Like when I tell you guys on the internet that I fly to countries with no plan, I was 26 years old. I flew to India and I had no hotel to arrive to. It's the middle of the night. I have no internet, and this taxi just drops me off on the side of the road. I get there, and the hotel is closed. So I'm just outside on a random road in India using my malas, chanting in the middle of the night, like trying to find my peace till like the morning. And it's like, it's in those moments that I've been really able to hold the energy until. And when I think about the way in which we decide and we declare where we're going is like, how can I hone my power? How can I stay in my power when everything looks like it's not working? And it's the energetics, it's the embodiment, it's having community, It's having mentorship and sisters and other people that get you. And not giving your power away to someone or something outside of yourself. Just knowing it's a matter of time. And I shifted this in my mindset. It's not if this works out, it's when this works out. And that was the key. You cannot confuse your audience if you aren't confused. If you know who you are and what you do. And that leads us to why and embody. You. It's you. Like your marketing, like I want you to go back and read your content. Read your emails. Read the past versions of you. When someone were to land on your page and they read it, they go back and binge everything you've ever created. Can they feel you and your essence? Can they feel your motive, your motivation, your mission? Can they
Oh, the baby deer
connect and
was just
relate to you?
standing there on the side of the road.
Let me just see if I can pause this person. And that's the key. So when I think about this, is like, is there a level of professionalism that you're using in your content? Are you pretending to be someone else you're not? What core wounds or beliefs are holding you back or stopping you? When I have this, I'll do this. Is there this rule that you put on yourself? Because let me just tell you, I was in the prove it girl era for almost 18 months. And the Prove It Girl era was like, I'm going from self-love coach to multi-passionate business coach, and I need to prove to the world that I know how to teach business. So I lost my storytelling, my artistic abilities, my love for creating content, and I started creating 3 steps to do this, 5 steps to do that. And I was just following all the Instagram gurus, and I lost me. But then she came back. This year, I was like, I'm going to go on a brand evolution. I'm going to up level the way in which my branding looks and branding feels. And then on the way, I had clients talking about me badly in my Facebook groups. My Facebook ads got shut off. And I was tested. Are you really ready to embody that person that you said you wanted to become? And I wasn't phased at all. And I was like, okay, this is showing me how far I've come, because that didn't phase me. And then when I got there and we went through the brand photo shoot, we had the energy of what we wanted to do, bringing up my program Spotlight. You can give a little heart if you were in for the Spotlight launch. And in this, it was like, oh, I was trying to be the boss babe in my photos. And I was like, oh, there she is again. I was in the Prove It Girl. And the reason that I have the prove it girl energy is like, I had to start proving I was a good girl to my dad when I was 3. And my stepmom came in and was like afraid of the love that we had. And so I had to prove I was a good girl. And then the prove it girl came into my business, core wounding. And I was like, oh, there you are. Business growth is a portal for deep growth and transformation. So who here has ever experienced growth and evolution so fast that people start being like, you've changed. I don't know you anymore. You're not who you used to be. How many of you have had that experience when you've grown, changed, evolved? Like losing friends. I'm afraid to bring my full self online and share all the things I want to do, because what will the people from high school think? What's my aunt gonna say? What's my mom gonna think? I just got on my phone and my sister saw my stories. I was like, oh, I wonder what she thinks about me. And then also, how many of you have grown really fast and you found people in your world that are like, oh my gosh, I love this new version of you. I love where you're going. I love what you're doing. Because after this brand evolution came forward and through, I had so many people join Spotlight, the program, because of the evolution in the photos and what I was stepping into. And I had so many clients be like, I don't like this version of you. I even found this comment that I didn't get to see, and I think God was protecting me. It was like, I miss the Costa Rica nature girl. What happened to you? This new version of you now? Question mark. And I was like, oh, well, I guess she doesn't like this new version of me. But it's like, I'm still the Costa Rica jungle girl. So when you're thinking about like your brand and your evolution and bringing all parts and pieces of you, there's a holding the duality of embodiment. And how do I expand my capacity for more? More clients means more people that aren't going to love you. Not everyone that goes through your program is going to love you. But more than 50% of the people on the live call have been working with me for over a year and a half. Some even since I began in 2008. Some people will stay on the whole journey with you because they love your evolution. It's not like you are leaving them behind and they feel lost without you, and people that are afraid of your growth and change and evolution are staying the same, and they don't like that you're growing. And that's the hard part of embodying your fullest expression, losing the people that we love the most. I've had so many clients that are like, I'm so afraid of how much I'm growing. Like, what about my husband? My husband doesn't do inner work, but he does put intention into our problems. And he does put awareness into the things that I need him to do for us as we become like parents. He's just not like waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, chanting and doing deep breath work. And that's okay. His growth looks different than mine. So the question for you is like, how much energy, attention, care are you putting into the branding so it feels like you? When someone lands on your Instagram account, when someone lands on your email list and they're getting emails from you, like what are the colors, the textures, the visualizations? Does it feel on brand for you? And is it time to up level that? Because for so long I was doing my graphics, and when I tell you it's time to hire out, baby boy, it was time to hire out when I first got started. I know like what I want it to look and feel like, but the way in which Canva works, like me and her don't get along. And so when I hired my best friend to start doing my graphics, everything changed because she could take my ideas and the content that I was going to be selling and turn it into a visual. So it's good to hire out for those things, especially for offers and products that really matter to you. And then the final thing is like your identity in you. How will that identity version of your future version vision self show up each morning? How will she feel when she creates content? And what type of moves will she make? I know Bridget, who's coming to Here for More, throughout the wave, she's like, Amber, my $1 million move is coming to Costa Rica to your live event. And it was like she was willing to make that $1 million move, even though it was a stretch for her, even though her kids won't be coming with her. She had to make sacrifices. And that's like coming full into embodiment of what you want to do and knowing that like there will be uncomfortable decisions and not fun decisions that you have to make. I have another client that's like, I know every year if I want to come on your retreat, I have to stop going these places and spending this money so that I can come all the way to Costa Rica and come onto your retreat. But she makes those adjustments in her lifestyle because she prioritizes the growth that she gets every single year she comes back. So really thinking about you. What are the moves that you will make? Who are you? How will you be experienced when you walk into the room? What walks into the room with you? And when you're serving, who are you serving? And how are you feeling when you serve? And how will you make others feel? And allow that to come forward and through in your marketing and your messaging. Because if it's not you, or it's a past version of you, things will stop working as well as they used to. One of my clients, we worked together for a long time one-on-one, and then she came into the wave. When we first started working together, she was struggling to sell $11 offers. When she decided to close down her 7-figure business, to start the business that her soul had been calling her to start, she signed a $36,000 client because of soul alignment. She knew what she needed to do. She just needed Amber for permission. Sometimes we just need our mentors for permission. We just need our biz bestie for permission. We just need community for permission. And then I had another one-on-one client that I was working with just a few months ago. And she said to me, I can't get anyone to sign up for my free masterclass. And when we really looked at it, she was creating a masterclass to sell a program she didn't even want to be selling, but it was what she thought she should do. She canceled the masterclass, canceled the program, and had a 10K day signing two one-on-one clients because what she really wanted to do was scale her one-on-one coaching business, not be creating programs and courses. So sometimes what we have to do is stop doing what we're currently doing and make that uncomfortable move to actually start selling the things that we want to sell. If you've ever had that experience and you're here live, drop it into the chat. Tell us what it's like. And the reason that this is so important for multi-passionates is because I have a best friend. And as I was creating this experience, I was like, what's up, girl? Like, be my guinea pig. Can we talk? Because I knew she knew this is her biggest struggle. She's ping-ponging from one idea to another idea. She's like, I'm a goals and accountability coach. I'm a mindset coach. I hold sacred space and community. And I also teach business strategy, marketing, and I run ads. How do I teach, talk about, and share who all I am? And it's just, that's what you do. It's you turn it into your own version of the identity and you get behind it 100% using the multi-passionate umbrella of your motive. Your motive. And that's how you can create a Facebook ads course. And you can also create a Soulful certification. You can be a facilitator for retreats, and you can also be a business strategist. But it's like, this is who I am and this is what I do. And you put it into your own words, like, I'm a visionary coach for multi-passionates, helping them bring all parts of themselves online. So if you're a somatics coach, you're also a retreat leader, and you're also a yoga teacher, what is the emotion? What is the experience that you're creating? And let that be your vehicle that helps them. And then everything you do ties back to your motive and your mission rather than bouncing from idea to idea. So embody, experience, motive, mission, movement, body-led business strategy, grow, serve, sell, creating offers and content that are the pillars to your business that holds you up. And it gives you so much space for creation because everything ties back to how they feel and what they experience. Decide it and declare it and own it. Be you. Be so fully you. Are you still in your body? How are you feeling? Amazing. So, my invitation for you is to go look at the embodied method and create your embodied brand experience. Getting really clear on what experience and emotion you want your clients to feel, what the motive, the mission, and the movement is. What are your body-led business strategies? What are your offers? What is your content? Declare it, decide it, call a friend, tell someone inside of the wave. Where are you going? Decide what 2025 is going to be for you. 2026, where the heck are you headed? And then let you just be fully in it and on board. And be sure to tag me. Let me know your biggest takeaways on Instagram at Amber Hagberg. Tag a friend that needs to hear this. Share it. And if you feel complete, then I will see you on the interwebs. If you want to stay and hang out to learn more about the Soul Flow certification or the wave, I'm going to go into that transition of just like welcoming anyone here that isn't already riding the wave with us into 2025. This is such a good opportunity right now as we move into Black Friday. Yeah, Brittany, get into the wave. So many people here have been with me in the wave since the beginning of it. And this program, mentorship, continues to grow and evolve as I do. So if you're someone that really wants to bring all of you into your business, where you get your own body-led business strategy, I teach so many different strategies inside of the wave for you to find the 1 to 3 that work for you in growing your audience. The really visible is just one way. The other ways that we talk about inside of the wave is how do you start networking, marketing, and collaborating with other people? How do you run Facebook ads to your best performing organic content? How do you start collaborating? Many clients inside of the wave are leading retreats together next year. It's like, how can we collaborate to get to where we want to go in a powerful pack together? And then also inside of the wave, we really help you to define and how you sell your offers with conviction. So defining what it is that you're selling, who it is that you're selling to, and how are you going to bring them in? I teach a lot about the masterclass method, but I also teach how to use Instagram to make sales and get people on your email list so that they find value in your mini courses and your low ticket offers, and then they just want to continue to grow and evolve within in your other products. Clients that come into my low ticket offers, they then come into one-on-one coaching. They then come into my mastermind. They then come on my retreats. So it's like, how can you create that for yourself in your funnel? And the best part, I think, is the community. The sisters that you're going to meet, you get to collaborate with, you get to connect with. The networking call this month in the way was vital for me to be seen, heard, and totally loved on as I go through this piece of life. This community is 100%. Like time and time again, the women coming in are like, I found my people. And I'm not even on those calls usually. It's just them doing it together, supporting each other and asking each other for feedback on the programs that they're launching together, feedback on the reels that they're creating, what we did inside of the Really Visible Challenge. They're doing that, giving each other boosts of engagement, inspiration, peer support. So the wave right now is $99 a month, or you can get in for the entire year, $999. If you get in for the entire year, you get an Instagram audit from me and Black Friday bonus. You're going to get a free ticket to Hear for More Live. So those two options are there and available for you if you feel called to say yes to a year together inside of the wave, or you can do $99 a month and it's pregnancy brain. It's cancel anytime. That's what I would say. It's $99 a month and you can cancel at any time, or you can stay forever if you love it. But it's a way for you to test ride the wave experience. And we have 2 live calls every month, Soul Flow embodiment, as well as Kundalini activation. So opening up the energetic body and then also dancing and moving, which takes me into my newest, like adding in Soul Flow Master Practitioner into my business for 2025 is like lighting my soul on fire, because it's literally the reason that I launched Here for More Live this month and I sold it out. It's literally the reason that I spoke on 6 different stages, and I am a shy, introverted, like hide behind people. And I had this vision during Soul Flow. And for me, it's adding that experience now into the wave and facilitating this transformation. And then also helping my retreat leaders and my clients bring this into their work and what they do. And learning to listen to the body and the way the body speaks to us. And as we do, it's like you become a greater magnet for all that you desire in your life. Embodiment is this wholesome conversation with like, not just do I need to poop and do I need to pee and am I sad and am I angry? It's like, what really wants to come through me right now and how can I hold the both and? It's the holding the complexities and the sensations within the body. And also It's a portal for healing trauma. And sometimes trauma happens in our body and we don't even have to know what that trauma is. If you've ever done yoga and you just start crying for no reason, you don't have to know why. It's a release of something that has been stored in the body when you're a baby, when you are 3 years old. It's how can I be present moment to moment with what I'm feeling so I can constantly stay connected to my body. And this is where like the body-led business strategy allows us to take any strategy and make it work. And so releasing limitations and showing up authentically and with confidence. The embodied brand experience literally is like, okay, soul flow into the wave. And what I love so much about Soul Flow is when I joined Soul Flow, she sent me an email that said, "Welcome to the wave." And I just met this mentor not long ago. It was like at the beginning of this year. And I'm like, Soul Flow is the wave. But I've been talking about the wave and the ripples of the work that we do and how the wounds in our life become the wisdom that becomes wealth, that becomes a wave. So it's like the wave in and of itself, the collective, is that you create a ripple in your own life. You heal yourself. And then that ripple turns into a wave when you start helping other people. And this practice, soul flow, is first about you. How can I use this embodiment practice to heal myself so that I can transform and transcend? And then if you feel called, share it with your clients, teach it to your clients, hold space at retreats. I'm going to be holding 3 of these a month live here in Costa Rica, which I haven't taught in person since before Amani was born 2.5 years ago. And so to go back out into my community and have this new practice that moves through 4 different phases very strategically for you to go and flow with the nervous system. So those are the 2 offers that I have right now that I'm so excited about. And if you decide to do the Soul Flow Master Practitioner and the Wave, I sent this out as a bonus, but you will get it for $83.25 a month inside of the Wave. And then for Master Practitioner, I will send out an email and give you all the details so that you can see it if you're visual like me and you just want to see the sales and landing page for that. And then reach out to me on Instagram at Amber Hagberg if you have any questions. We're going to be getting started in that next week. And yeah, I'm just so grateful that you're all here. The rain just started in Costa Rica, and I'm like, this is perfect timing. It was sun shining before when we got started, and now it's raining. I'm like cozy up on the couch. Thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful. And I'll see you on the interwebs.